Why do some nations prosper while others struggle? This is a complex question with no easy answers. In their book Why Nations Fail, economists Daron Acemoglu and James Robinson argue that the key difference lies in the strength of a nation's institutions. They claim that nations with inclusive political and economic institutions are more likely to succeed. Inclusive institutions are those that distribute power broadly and create a level playing field for citizens. These institutions protect property rights, enforce contracts, and allow for a free market economy. They also ensure political participation, limit corruption, and uphold the rule of law. On the other hand, extractive institutions concentrate power in the hands of a few and serve the interests of the elite at the expense of the majority. These institutions can stifle innovation, limit economic opportunity, and lead to widespread poverty and instability. Understanding the difference between inclusive and extractive institutions is crucial for understanding why some nations fail while others succeed. Political and economic institutions are the backbone of any successful nation. They provide the framework for economic activity, social order, and political stability. When these institutions are strong and inclusive, they create an environment where innovation can flourish, businesses can thrive, and citizens can prosper. Strong political institutions ensure that power is distributed fairly and that citizens have a voice in their government. This can take many forms, from democratic elections to independent judiciaries to a free and vibrant press. The key is that power is not concentrated in the hands of a single individual or group, but is instead shared among different branches of government and segments of society. Economic institutions are equally important. They determine how resources are allocated, how businesses operate, and how wealth is distributed. Inclusive economic institutions protect property rights, enforce contracts, and allow for a free market economy. This creates a level playing field where anyone with a good idea and hard work has the opportunity to succeed. The importance of institutions is not just a theoretical concept, it is supported by a wealth of historical data. Throughout history, nations with inclusive political and economic institutions have consistently outperformed those with extractive institutions. For example, the Industrial Revolution began in England, a country with relatively inclusive institutions for its time. England had a strong legal system that protected property rights and enforced contracts. It also had a relatively open political system that allowed for some degree of citizen participation. These factors created an environment where innovation could flourish, leading to the development of new technologies and industries that would transform the world. In contrast, countries with extractive institutions, such as those ruled by absolute monarchs or colonial powers, have often struggled to achieve sustained economic growth. This is because extractive institutions tend to stifle innovation, limit economic opportunity, and create widespread poverty and inequality. Perhaps the most striking example of the importance of institutions is the contrast between North and South Korea. After World War II, the Korean peninsula was divided into two countries. North Korea adopted a communist system with highly extractive institutions, while South Korea, after a period of authoritarian rule, transitioned to a democracy with more inclusive institutions. The results have been dramatic. South Korea has become one of the world's most prosperous nations, with a thriving economy and a high standard of living. North Korea, on the other hand, remains mired in poverty and isolation, with one of the lowest GDP per capita in the world. The stark contrast between North and South Korea highlights the critical role that institutions play in determining national success or failure. It is a powerful reminder that while geography, culture, and other factors can play a role, it is ultimately the choices that societies make about their institutions that determine their destiny.